name is Casey. I am the Business Development Manager for the West Central region for Space Age Electronics. And lately I've been going around and giving a lot of presentations on emergency two-way communication. And if I only had a few minutes of someone's time, what I'd like to help them understand the most about emergency two-way communication is these systems are used in area of refuge, which is typically in a stairwell within a building. But even if your building doesn't have an area of refuge system in the stairwell, your building's going to need it anyways. And typically that's going to be in the elevator lobby. I see a lot of people making that mistake where they think they don't need it because their stairwell's not an area of refuge.
We've talked about how area of refuge is a space. It has to have a few requirements meet requirements to be that space. And here's the requirements, a brief example of them. A lot of it is it has to be large enough. Whenever I'm talking to an integrator or electrical engineer, and they talk about the stairwells, I say, well, let's first of all see if they're big enough. They have to be big enough so they can have enough spaces for someone in a wheelchair. And we see the designated size of a wheelchair. Also, you have to have enough spaces for how many people are going to use that path of egress. You have one space for every 200 people. As well as there has to be enough room around them so they can actually, other people can exit the building or first responders can get out into the building.
We've been educating the community, the life safety community, architects and engineers, code officials, integrators on this subject. It's confusing. The code is circular.
When I first was studying this system or this code, I was looking at the IBC. It's circular. I mean, you start at the top and linear. You go from the top, because this is all about. It resides in 1009 of Chapter 10 of the IBC, 1009, which is talking about egress. How do you get out of the building? There's two ways. Take the stairs, or you take the elevator.
Standards have evolved. We have now a UL standard that was published in 2020. It's called UL 2525, and it's really changing the complexion of this life safety system now.
If the product is listed for a purpose, you have to use a listed product for that purpose. This listing came out in June 2020.
It has evolved from a simple phone system or intercom system, and now it's really an intercom system on steroids. It's got to meet requirements of survivability. It has to meet requirements of supervision, and it's now a life safety system. There's a lot of confusion in the industry. Who's responsible? Whether it's the building department or the fire department, each municipality will have to, determine that. But the bottom line is these systems are required, and they need to be understood. And on top of that, they need to be maintained and annually tested, which is not understood. Or and it's to help those that are impaired and can't get out of the building during the emergency situation, whether it's a fire alarm or a non-fire alarm event.